I don't want to say ministry because I'm not religious, but I am spiritual, a dance group where I teach line and chair dancing to all levels and all ages, with a primary focus on our senior adults. And it is a joy of a lifetime that I'm experiencing. So that's pretty much, and that's been ongoing for almost 2 decades. Yes, and I'm loving it. And I'm gonna mute.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing that with me. We do have an echo if you don't.
We do have an echo if you don't.
There you go. I'm gonna go. I'm multitasking, as I had mentioned. My doggie looks like she wants to take me back outside to where I already went. So evidently she didn't finish what she needed to do. So if she wouldn't play so much, she wants to go out and play. She don't realize I'm in the middle of my onboarding room, but she should be used to it, right? So the question that I have in the chat sounds like you mentioned that um, you've been on Fanbase. You installed the app a while back, is what I think I'm understanding. But I'm not understanding if you actually had been into any onboarding rooms or any rooms on Fanbase prior to you actually installing the app. I believe, is that correct? I just want to make sure I understood the context of how you found out about Fanbase. If you
You
could,
could
me.
Thank you. I found out, thank you. That was a question I was trying to recall as well. I found out about it, like I said, at least maybe, how long has it been in effect? Within the last 5 years? Fan base, or since 2021, I believe. And
That's
I
what
tried
I'm
to,
seeing the time
time
frame.
frame.
yeah, I tried to join back then, but again, my business was thriving and blooming, and I was so busy, and I kept saying I gotta get on Fanbase. So I actually, this is my very first time, very first day, and actually today is my birthversary, 75 today. But I said I just clicked on. I said I gotta go on Fanbase to see what's happening. I wasn't expecting to be able to be greeted with such love from you, with the welcoming of new users. And so, again, I'm so grateful. But that's how I found out about it. But again, I'm actually finally navigating and being active in the fan base chat. But this is my very first time, I have to say, even though I was on another chat uh, room about 4 so many years ago, but I finally got here on fan base.
Well,
Well,
welcome back.
welcome
I'm
back.
so
I'm so
happy to
happy
have
to
you
have
back,
you
and I
back. And
hope
I
that
hope
you
that
be
you be
here.
here.
Just
Just
to reiterate, I love Fanbase. I'm here to welcome new users. I found my lane, so I'm going to be doing this until, who knows, maybe somebody will take on. But we do have another person that does onboarding in the evening. Love Jones, aka Love Those. He had been away doing some things, but I look forward to him because I do mine in the day from Monday through Friday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. And then there's another guy that does onboarding in the evening, and he does his usually around 8 p.m. for the people, the late night people, the people that get off work and do things like that because they need to be welcome too. So that's the beauty of it. And when we have ambassadors that welcome people and the users and investors, I do have an investors camp that I have open. I try to have it open as much as possible. Feedback on things that are happening on Fanbase. It's called Investors of Fanbase Camp. You may see that in the hall from time to time. Definitely join that. If you aren't an investor, definitely check it out. Startengine.com/fanbase. The Q&A section that is answered by the one and only Isaac Hayes III. So that's a good opportunity to learn more about investing in tech and the opportunity we have to invest in something like a social platform that we've never had the opportunity before. So that's a great benefit to being on a social app, is because we have that opportunity to invest. And also, just looking in chat, my other question was, so I believe you probably answered this. I was going to ask, are you new to social audio? But it sounds like this may be your first social audio experience, if I'm not mistaken. I
I
believe.
believe. Well, this is my first audio with Fanbase.
Oh,
Oh,
then you
I've
haven't.
been
And so
so
you
you
have
have
been
been
on
on
other
other
social
social
audio
audio
spaces.
spaces.
Then I
I
think
think
you
you
mentioned a
mentioned a
little
little
earlier
earlier. Wait,
other spaces. What's some of the other spaces you've been to in social audio?
it's amazing. I'm trying to think of the name. The one that was very popular during the 2020s. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Oh my goodness.
Okay,
Okay,
I
I
can
can
answer it.
answer it.
It
It
probably was
probably was
Clubhouse.
Clubhouse. What? Say it again. Oh,
Clubhouse.
Clubhouse. Yes, that's what it was. I couldn't think of the name, just slipped my memory. So I was, and again, that's been over. I just stopped because again, over what, at least 3, 4 years ago. So again, as far as getting renewing my experience with audio chat, this is the first day after being gone
Well,
for a couple of years.
well, that's amazing. And I wanted to add, I believe you said today is your born day. So are we doing a shout
Shout
out
out
for your
happy
born
born
day?
day. Yes, this is my born day. And I refer to it as one of, I have 11 grandchildren, and he refers to it as birth, BEARTH, well, I added versary. So it's my birth versary 75 today. I am.
So you're
So
gonna
you
put
can
a
put a
new
new
name
name
to it.
to
You're
it.
gonna
You're going
give it a twist. So you're gonna say birthversary. Okay. So
so
some
some
people
people
say
say born.
born day. I don't really do birthday that much anymore, but sometimes I'll slip it out there, just depending. But you have a new one for us to remember. I love that. I love that versatility when it comes to the day in which you came into the world. So that's amazing.
Thank you.
And my last question then is, what type of content are you looking for or bringing to fan base? I'm not sure if you label yourself as someone who loves content or loves to post or create storytelling events, but what do you expect to bring to fan base when it comes to content? Or are you more of a consumer, someone that just wants to observe and listen and support? Go ahead.
Okay. What I intend to bring to fan base is more content. It's a little bit of both, but content. And again, I am all about love and primarily discovering and remembering that we must first love ourselves in order to love everybody and anything else. So the manifestation of that, along with what I love to do physically, and that is line dancing. We entertain. I say we. I have a group that entertains. So videos from time to time. So I'm learning more about what types of content and studying and researching that would benefit our fan base family. So I'm starting a little slow right now.
That's
That
okay. That's okay. I appreciate those answers. So I don't have any more questions for you. I do see there's some more people in the audience if they want to come in and share. My room is open till 4 p.m. Eastern. So anyone wants to come up and share a little bit about what they do, how they found out about Fanbase, feel free to hit that hand. Don't be shy. But I wanted to share, I've been on Fanbase since November of 2020, and no, actually November of 2022. I actually was on Clubhouse back in that time frame, 2020, with the pandemic. So this social audio isn't really new to me since I've been on Clubhouse. I've also been in other spaces like Chatter, Stereo, which I recently found out about. So there's a lot of other social audio spaces. Spill. Um, so I've had my runaround when it comes to social audio. But Fanbase is my home base, and this is where I have and where my content is housed. I do have two profiles. You see the one at the bottom. That one's my Joyce's POS one. I am a merchant services provider. I'm kind of stagnant with that right now because I relocated to another state. So I'm trying to actually start to get and build my clientele back up more on the e-commerce side rather than brick and mortar. Brick and mortar may come, but I'm kind of steering more towards e-commerce. But I'm also an author, a storyteller. I have my book, Memoirs of a Shy Girl. Yes, I am still shy. So to open this room and speak, it's it was challenging at first, but you got to get out of your comfort zone sometimes, or maybe all the time. You know what I mean? It's good to kind of pivot and get out of that comfort zone. I don't think you really will evolve or grow if you're always comfortable with everything that you do. Who wants to be comfortable all the time? You can be comfortable at home, but when it comes to networking and engaging, and if you have a business or you have a hobby that you want to turn into a business, you can't really be shy because closed mouths, we all know, don't get fed. So here I am. I'm on Fanbase. I'm an ambassador to Fanbase, and I'm here to support the new users. I first came on, I did a meet and greet room. I do think that the best way to actually network is to just create your space. You create the space that you want it to be, and you keep it that way. So if you find that you want to open a space, I'm here to help and support, get out of that shyness, and just speak about the things. We have a watch party so you can watch videos just like I was playing earlier. So it kind of helps you to structure your room and just to assist you on the content that you want to bring to Fanbase. There is a tutorial in the chat, learn.fanbase.app. It's just a general tutorial, just kind of highlighting on how to's. But we do have some amazing creators that have created their own channels to describe how to Fanbase. So that's another thing. And I usually play those creators in either my investors camp or my onboarding. So stay tuned for those. But I'm all done with my part of it, MamaLala, unless you have anything else that you want to add. We're going to go back into the video. This video was actually a really great video that was playing by a lady. She's no longer on Fanbase, but she had a lot of great ideas that she was sharing for creators, just to kind of give them some feedback on how important storytelling is when it comes to building your fan base. So, did you want to add anything before we end the interview?
We have a lot of really cool thank you again, Joyce. A lot of what you said, my spirit resonates in terms of no longer used to be shy, but I am no longer shy, and I haven't been because I know that I was created for a purpose. And of course, it took a while to remember what my purpose was. And as you said, a closed mouth and closed hands do not get fed or led. So I appreciate this opportunity. And again, and you mentioned another thing about getting out of your comfort zone. You're right. Sometimes we do get so comfortable in repeating the same thing and not moving, not growing, and not manifesting the myriad or millions of dreams that we probably have, and whether it's one or two, it is so important that we get out of our comfort zones. And I did that not on my own, but through a healing journey that I'm currently still dealing with, but I'm 99.3% closer to 100%. And that was one way of getting me out of my comfort zone, even though I was having a great time and still am. Uh, Again, being a community servant and also an elected official within my community, and just serving the community for more than 4 decades, primary serving as service. But I learned, and along the way, those whose spirit resonates said, Linda, you cannot continue to just give away your energy and your time and your space. There's such a thing as being valued, where you are able to receive funds or money for what you do and your passion. And there's enough money out there for all of us to benefit and receive. And so it took a while for me to get out of that comfort zone and say, oh, I'm just serving the community. But then all along in the back of my mind, I knew that this was my business. And in order for my business to not just survive, but to thrive and be continue in the highest vibrational frequency, which is love, I I am worth it. My group that I deal with, Lion Dance Entertainment, deserves to be paid. And so that was one way of getting me to understand it over the years, and it's working. Thank you so much again, Joyce.
Thank you, Mama Lala. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for having the courage to accept the invite that I sent to you. Also, would you like to share wherever you are on other social media sites so that we can follow you there? You can also drop any links that you want to share in the
Yes,
chat.
yes. So I am on Instagram, Facebook, primarily under my name, Linda Hodges Holloway, or Hodges Holloway. That's where primarily, uh, at TikTok from time to time as well. And what else was in social media? Da, da, da. Trying to think what else. Well, those are the primary ones that you can follow me on at this time. Thank you.
Sure. So you
Sure. So
said
you
it's
said it's
Linda
Linda
Hodges
Hodges
Holloway. Would
Holloway.
they
Yeah.
just
They
search
just search
that, or do
that,
you
or
have
do you
like
have
a
like a
username?
username? I'll put it under Linda Hodges Holloway. I'll put it in the chat as well.
Okay, well, sounds good. Mama Lala is what we'll call you on Fanbase. Makes it easier. But I do appreciate again you for stopping through, Mama Lala. And I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the video that was just playing earlier. And we'll concentrate on the content that she actually brings, even though she's not here anymore. Diana was a wealth of knowledge. I believe that's what her name was. But I always love to play her videos because they really capture the essence of creators and the importance of storytelling. And I love that part of it. So I'm going to go on mute and I'm going to put the video back on. We're going to play this video out and then we will close the room. It will probably be a little after 4. But again, welcome Mama Lala and happy, was it
Birth
birth anniversary?
versary, like anniversary, birth versary.
Birth anniversary.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Things happening in May at Fanbase. I mentioned it a little bit before that we have a few different campaigns launching. In the comments, do you guys know or have an idea of what's coming to Fanbase in May? Gotcha. So for the first time ever in Fanbase history, and also, if I remember correctly, in like a majority of social media companies, they don't do this. We are launching a 100% revenue share for all new and existing creators on the app. And that's going to be active for 2 months. So it's a limited time campaign, but we really wanted to emphasize our creators on the platform, the efforts that are being made, and give a very big thank you to all of you guys who are contributing to our creator economy and to the content catalog that we have on the platform so far. So next week, I believe it's next week. Yeah, next week we are starting to launch our 100% rev share campaign as a creator appreciation campaign for everyone who's coming on the platform, everyone who's maybe worried about what's going on TikTok, and new users who are just starting out. We really want to encourage people to keep posting, contribute content, diversify your content, really hone in on your niche and what you like to talk about, and take home % of that. So that's the first really big thing that's happening, which is really exciting because if you guys have not only loves but like subscriptions, whatever you take home from that is whatever you take home from that. So we wanted to give an emphasis on you guys being able to take home for the next 2 months 100% of all of the output you're putting to the platform. So I'm really excited for that to launch. That excites you guys. I encourage you guys to tell any of your other content creator friends to come and join the platform and maximize on this, because it's only going to be around for 2 months. So we want to make sure however many people are going to benefit from this, that they have access to it. We're going to start launching the actual social media campaigns for this and spreading the word out in the next couple of days. But because you guys are already on the platform, you guys are in this audio room, and you guys are active and participating in audio rooms, you guys get the 411 before anyone else does. Oh, Queen Mo, you have a whole newsletter and video. Want to tell me a little bit more about that? I can actually bring you up if you want to. Yeah, let's do it. Let's have a convo.
Okay, I tend to be the news lady besides Joyce down there. I do a newsletter video form Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays called Morning Quickies, and I give a little rundown of what's going on, what audio rooms are happening, and things like that. I do that on Fanbase Plus. I do it for about 7-10 minutes, something a little quick, but kind of give them a rundown of what's going on. And my morning rooms, Monday through Friday, I make sure I get the word out. So yeah, and so I'm definitely on YouTube as well. I do a YouTube show every Friday at 6:30. Called Friday Evening Hangout and Chat, where I just basically tell the world how much we love Fanbase and what's cool going over. So it's a whole show dedicated to what's going on Fanbase, and new activities, and new music artists in our Amped Up department. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's
what I think would be good. I think if you're open to suggestions, I think it'd be really, really cool for you to host one of the, maybe once a quarter or once a month, one of your YouTube episodes. We can maybe do a special episode that you can host on Fanbase Plus. That way you can bring people the viewership directly into the platform, and whatever you're talking about in your newsletter, people can put in actuality. like within the platform. Have you considered doing something?
I mean, I'm one of those people who love where I'm at, and I love let my work speak for itself. I don't like to just come across, oh, you know what I mean, you know what I'm saying. But that's one of the things that I aspire to is to collab in that type of way. And my last name is actually Love, so and my favorite color is purple, and so this whole platform is just the line. So yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I appreciate that. And I appreciate all of your effort to contributing to our content catalog. Like, we definitely love to recycle content and pieces and like amplify things that we think stand out. So very appreciative in that regard. And hopefully the next 2 months after after our campaign launches, you can really see and maximize the monetary aspect of it, because we are very excited to have this creator appreciation campaign start up soon. And it's actually going to work in tandem with another campaign that we're going to be launching called the Mental Health Awareness Campaign, which is actually a challenge, a cross-platform challenge that we are going to be launching. And I'll tell you a little bit more about it. Oh, we are getting a lot more people. Hey, guys. Where were y'all? Oh, okay, so I'm gonna start over just a little bit, give a little bit of a rundown. This is welcome to the Creator Collective. This is where we talk about content creation. It is, for creators as a resource. I break down, just general marketing information regarding like building your personal brand, how to identify brand identity. Last week's episode was about identifying target audience and what your niche looks like and why that's important. And right now, we were discussing some of the special things that are coming to Fanbase in this month. So I very briefly went over our creator appreciation campaign. Oh, hi, Kyle. If you want to come up and chat, you can totally come up and chat with me too. But we have a creator appreciation campaign launching next week, and we are going to be giving 100% revenue for all creators platform wide, new and existing, for a limited time. So that's 2 months, where all of your efforts, all of your engagement, your posting, you're going to be able to take 100% of that revenue in your wallet and have that deposited in your account. And we're doing that, not only to amplify, the people that are on the platform, but as just like a little nod to how we value our content creators. We value content creation in general, and especially with what's happening with TikTok, we want to make sure that creators coming on the platform do feel valued and validated in their efforts, to their audience. So we're going to be launching that. All right, perfect. We're going to be launching that next week. And I was just starting to talk to Queen and everybody here about a secondary campaign that we are launching in tandem. So I'm sure a lot of you already know that May, there's a lot of different, celebrations that happen in May, but a really big thing that we're focusing on is mental health awareness. So we're launching a mental health awareness campaign to basically encourage people to do some self-care. We have a nice little challenge card that we're going to be posting, and it's going to have different prompts for people. So keep an eye out on that. We're going to be pushing that challenge and information about that challenge in the next couple of days. But the really cool part is, if you participate and you complete the challenge, we are selecting 6 winners at random, and we are going to be giving each winner $50 straight into their Fanbase wallet, just for participating and completing the challenge. So we definitely want to not only encourage people to practice some self-care, and also to be aware of Mental Health Awareness Month, mental health coping practices, I know it's been a really difficult time for a lot of people, especially like within the pandemic and then everything that's happened after. I don't know about you guys, but I blinked and 4 years went by and I don't understand how that happened. I felt like it was like a twilight zone. So what we're trying to do is we're not only trying to cultivate a creative space for new people to come on and feel appreciated and valued in their content creation, but we also want to extend this space and amplify different things that are going on within the month. So because we have our mental health awareness campaign launching soon, I wanted to give you guys the, a little bit of a preview of what that's going to look like. Any questions before I go into some of the specifics? Y'all can like raise your hands to hop on and talk to me, or you guys can chat with me.
I just got one quick thing. That is my heart. That is my specialty. This is one of my things I do. I have a whole company called I Am My Sister's Keeper LLC, where I help women get their mind, body, soul, and spirit together. And that is one of the core things that's made me start my room morning wellness check Monday through Friday, is to check on my well-being. So that's just why I love this platform.
We love that. And, we're having some ideas regarding maybe having a mental health awareness, like audio room kind of space. So we're playing around with the idea of having creators that are, advocates for mental health advocacy and self-care to maybe join in and help moderate at some point. So if that's something that you feel aligned with, Queen, and also, anybody else who feels connected to that goal and mission, we absolutely would love to, include you guys in the effort to help with those rooms, create a safe space for people to come on and talk about, what they're doing for their self-care, how they manage, how they cope, that kind of thing. I think it's important conversations to talk about. So if that is of any interest, you guys let me know, because we definitely are having a list started about people and our super users
No,
are
I
interested.
definitely would help. That's right up my alley, because that's what I mainly started my room for, to get our mind ready and simmered for the day. So.
And I love that. I love that. If anybody else wants to come up and talk to me, I'd love to hear your opinions as well. And then, Bucha, I did see your note here. We actually, we have a few different initiatives going on. We do have some small Black-owned businesses that are in support of our efforts and initiatives. We're working on getting some of those brand partnerships aligned. But I do know that there's going to be an emphasis for next month, because next month not only is Pride Month, but is also Black Music History Month. So there's going to be a pretty big emphasis on, Black music history, current artists in the space, upcoming artists, independent artists, that kind of thing. So definitely on the forefront of our minds. So yeah, there's going to be some emphasis there for sure. Okay, perfect. So diving a little bit deeper into our mental health awareness campaign, as I mentioned, we're going to be sending out a challenge card with different prompts for people to post. This is a Flicks only challenge. We're really trying to emphasize that short form video. So you can expect some of the challenges on this challenge card to be something like, gratitude on camera. List 3 things that you're grateful for on camera and explain why they're important to you. Or, a nature and mindfulness prompt where you film yourself, maybe taking a walk and, doing something for you. What we're trying to do is encourage people to actually lean into that self-care and share it with us, because we are a community-based app or community-based company. So we would love to not only get access and insight, but also we would love to share and repurpose or redirect people to the different types of ways that you guys will show self-care. So that challenge card is going to be released with some other information, but key things to note for these challenges: they are US based because we are selecting people at random. We are keeping it US based for now for this particular challenge. We're going to have 6 winners. Each winner will be receiving a $50 cash balance added to their Fanbase wallet. And what we're trying to do is keep this consistent with like the end of the month to announce these winners, so that way you guys can cash out like immediately. That's the goal. Since people get paid on the 1st. The criteria goes as follows. You have to complete the challenge card, and we'll give you a little bit of insight on how to let us know that you've completed it. There is going to be a hashtag that we would like for you guys to use on these posts as part of the challenge. And the only other thing is you tag 2 people, tag 2 friends to participate. So pretty simple, pretty easy to get things going, and just an added bonus for us to kind of show you guys that we appreciate all of your efforts on the app. So this and the creator appreciation campaign are launching within the same week. So, definitely want to maximize our efforts and also whatever you guys put in. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Would anybody like to come up and ask any questions, have like a panel discussion, anything you're curious about? I do want to open the floor for questions and for you guys to dive deep with this announcement before I go into my regularly scheduled programming of our next episode topic, which is building a personal brand and identifying brand identity. So I'll give you guys like a minute to decide if you want to come up and talk to me. Okay. All right, moving on. So with that all being said, the purpose of these campaigns, and also just the purpose of this reoccurring on, is to really help break down how to approach content creation, how to, again, last week's episode was identifying your target audience and identifying what your niche is, as Queen mentioned last week, and she reiterated, she is in the mental health and wellness space. Like, that is something that she's very passionate about. She produces a lot of content about it. So, for her niche and target audience is people interested in participating in health and wellness initiatives and self-care. So our mental health awareness campaign is definitely up your alley, Queen, for sure. Almost like it was made for you. But when we're talking about, in general, building an online presence, personal branding and like content creation strategy must to think about. You have to think, what does a personal brand mean to you? And I know it's like redundant, but at the times people just start posting without really identifying like how you want to come across to your audience. Like, a lot of your favorite influencers, they have such a different approach. Like, you could be following somebody who maybe does story times all the time and you feel like you're on FaceTime with them. So you feel like you have an online friend, right? Other times you have people who are like providing expertise and, like market knowledge, industry knowledge, even like, I forgot her name, but she blew up in like the makeup world. And she has like a really heavy accent, but she blew up in the makeup world because she just does all of these reviews and gives you, well, what started to be very authentic reviews kind of turn into maybe like, brand and sponsorship deals. But it kind of shows you how somebody can start out completely within their own space, just talking about something that they're passionate about, sharing it with their audience, and then opportunities come their way, right? So I'm going to ask you guys a question, and you guys can feel free to come up to talk about it, or you just answer in the chat. How do you personally, like, how do you guys think you would identify your own brand identity? And this could be things like the tone that you want to convey, or a preferred visual appearance. Are you putting on like a persona, or are you going to be kind of true to yourself and who you are, and like your personal brand is just you as the person versus like the thing that you're talking about? All right, let's go up. I have a few people. All right, hi Johan, hi Bucha.
Hi. This is something I have been educating Fanbase community about for the last year and a half. Like, personal branding is super key, depending on where you're trying to go. So how to answer that question, for me, I sat down and thought about 5 years after my tech company is exploded, what do I want to personally see myself as? And I had to sit down and think about that, and essentially create my personal website around the vision, and made sure that was all the verbiage was correct. 3-time founder, blah blah blah, all of these things, becoming an authority in a space in a particular area, and specifically to what I'm about to accomplish. So that's what I do. So the whole reason I do content right now targeted to tech and startups and things like that is because I want to personally brand myself around that aspect, because that's what I'm becoming, right? So I think sometimes when people think about personal branding, they struggle because they're not sure, right? But you just got to be yourself, but you have to finesse and cultivate it in a way where it's not like the brand that you have for your business. It's you. So
yeah, and and I bet you a lot of the times what you've probably seen people, or maybe even experienced this yourself at some point, where you start out and you kind of have like an analysis paralysis of, I could do so many things, I could approach it so many ways, and the problem is to just like to get that first start, right? The consistency to post, I think, is a big thing. Trying to A/B test different like initiatives. I think a lot of people they get lost in what they think an influencer or a content creator is supposed to do or supposed to look like, or any type of like expectations, when in reality it is you finding your voice and what you want to articulate to your audience.
Absolutely.
And then maximize on that.
So just be yourself. And I mean, you'll hear so many people use this buzzword, authenticity, and it's like it goes over people's head. But the funny thing is people are so nervous about what they look like, they negate who they are. And so you have to like dig deep and find out where your expertise lies. I spent 20 years educating. And so guess what? I am an educator. That is my foundation. I'm an artist. I'm a visionary. I'm a creator. I leaned heavily on these things because that is true to me. I can't be anything but who I am.
Yeah, absolutely. I love all of that. And that is such, I think it's also in an interesting way like a journey of self-discovery too, because when you open yourself up to the internet, you also open yourself up to scrutiny, right? To people maybe making judgments at you that you're like, they don't know you, but because you're out there, you're being brave, you're taking up space in this creator economy, it does open yourself up to scrutiny. People are very quick to voice their opinions one way or another, so it takes a lot of like bravery, and also a lot of vulnerability to share your authentic self with people.
Right.
Now there are people who do put on a persona, and that is totally fine, but as long as there is a level of like truth to what your messaging is. You want to find that voice, and I feel like a lot of people don't really utilize storytelling as often as they should. And that just in terms of, when I say storytelling, I'm talking about like shared experiences or anecdotes, lessons learned that resonate with you, that may also resonate with your audience. A lot of that also helps kind of bring your brand identity to like a fully developed thing that people can access and feel very aligned with.
One more thing, Diana, and one of the things why I always love Fanbase and it will have a special place in my heart is because I basically use Fanbase to learn and play and experiment. And you know, the thing is I said to myself, what do I want when I'm not in the room? I think a lot of people don't realize when it comes to personal branding, it's what do you, when you think about your business, but yourself, put yourself in a place of branding, right? When you're not in the room, just like if it was a product, if the customer you're looking to get, right, doesn't know who you are, right? Mm-hmm. When they do, why would they come to you instead of where they're currently going? It's the same thing. So when I'm not in the room, what do I want people to say about me? When I'm not present, what do I want them to be the lasting impression? So what I did was I spent a year and a half talking about tech and explaining who I was, building that brand persona. So when I left the room, when I wasn't there and people mentioned my name, it was like, oh yeah, she's the tech founder. That became synonymous. You have to actually plant that seed.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is, that brings like a very good point to the consistency part of it that we talked about last week, and the weeks prior, is that there is sort of like this expectation that when you maybe put out your first few things, like there is a virality that can happen, and the likelihood of that happening is actually very rare. Like it honestly sometimes is dumb luck that you posted in the time frame that is gaining a lot of traction, and there's maybe a audio is trending or all that stuff, but like virality is very inconsistent. When people kind of want to follow you, right, you are level setting some baseline expectations of when you're going to show up, how often you're going to post, what you're going to post about. And here's the thing, if you find that your niche changes, that is okay. It is so okay for you to change what you want to talk about. But what's going to help people follow you onto your next endeavor, your next journey, is that consistency, because they are already used to seeing you. They're used to what you're talking about. You identified yourself as a person, and people change their minds. People have opinions. People want to talk about different things. We're very dynamic individuals or creatures. So the way that you have that, loyalty is by showing up as yourself, as consistently as you can commit to. And, yes. And the world is your oyster at that point.
Yes, time management. And this is what I always, I have a room going into detail of what we talk about on Mondays at 11 is the fact time management. People don't understand time management. You don't want to build on a schedule that you're not going to be able to adhere to, because what happens, like you just said, they get used to you being at one place at one time and you're not there. But if you keep, the true you in by being honest and saying, look, I had a hard day, but at least tapping in and letting your audience know. My baseline of my community is based off of love, because I've been in the social media world for over 10 years. And the thing with, consistency is true. So guys, just get out there and really be you. I know it's so cliche to say it, but
no, but it's true, and I think especially the state of what's going on in the world, and even in the US, like people are craving that type of like realness. They're craving to be able to connect to someone. Things have been divisive for a very long time, and that's sort of where content creation really got its first boom, because we were kind of forced to be isolated for a while. So you had to figure out how to build your own community, in your own house. But I do want to give some space for Bucha to chime in. I know we kind of got into a lot of really good things here, but I would love to know from your perspective about identifying your brand identity and how you go about that.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak. I'm actually new to developing a brand identity. I create jewelry and art in particular. I just was in my first art exhibit that is based on the natural world and bringing the natural world and accessibility to all others with wire wrapped creations.
Congratulations so really, on that exhibit. That's a big win for you.
Thank you. So yeah, for me, it's I'm having trouble kind of juggling the fact that my brand is creating art, and in this world with so many things that are happening, it's like, is art worthwhile? And I don't know, it's hard to do that, and also to create an online brand when I'm a creative in real life. It seems like an additional job, so I'm struggling and hearing and hoping to listen for some tips.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I completely resonate with that sentiment because, like, I'm an artist through and through. I work in tech, and I'm good at tech, which is great. Keeps the bills keeps the bills happy as much as possible. But in terms of like my artistry, I'm a photographer, um, and I dabble in music. And when you're the artist, you kind of are developing like your what you think of as like your baby. This is your project. This is something that you are very like emotionally tied to, and it's really hard to execute. Like, and I tell this to my friends all the time who are in this creative space, like, I can help market the shit out of your personal brand and take a look at what you need, and help you schedule out posts and help you do any type of advertising initiatives. Like, I could evaluate somebody else's brand to a T. And then when it comes to my own, again, that like analysis paralysis of like, well, I'm the artist and I want to display this message and do this, but like business owner wise, you have to be willing to be flexible with a little bit of, your output, your messaging, your tone, all that stuff. And when you're starting out, it can get really overwhelming because you kind of, and maybe this is me personally, but I hope you resonate with this. Like, when you first start out, you don't want to do the wrong thing, right? You don't want to make the wrong move. You kind of want to execute things as perfectly as possible with whatever skill set and knowledge you have currently. But it's so hard to do that without scaring yourself off or limiting yourself or accidentally falling into that inconsistency. So first things first, when I first started out, and this is how I help any of my either clients or friends who have their own businesses, this is how I help them get the word out. I ask them, like, are you posting consistently and what, across all platforms? And a lot of the times the answer is no, because content creation can be scary and people don't want to show their faces. And that's totally valid. So I kind of go into like, well, you don't, there's so many different verticals of content that you can create, you can output. So if you don't want to show your face, like, you can, if you're doing jewelry, you can just show the creation of the jewelry that you're making, and then like time lapse it. For example, if if that's too long, maybe you can make an infographic about what goes into the jewelry that you make, and then why it's important to you. There's sort of a lot of things that you can like tap into, but the big thing is that consistency. And I know it's really difficult when you're already outputting design work. Like, that takes a lot of time for you to go and you design your jewelry, you make it, you ship it. Like, all of that is already one entire operation. So I get that that can be completely overwhelming. But if you're able to set aside maybe one day out of the week to batch create, because at the end of the day, you are either going to get word of mouth clients that they get your jewelry, your product, and they like what you produce, and so on and so forth. You'll be able to build your brand that way. Or you push out and you do some social media work and you get a following in that regard. So what I recommend, and this is sort of the way that I recommended things for a lot of the friends in the entrepreneurial space that I have, is you set a day, and you have to be very diligent with yourself and be realistic with yourself on what you can do. But you try to batch create, and that does not mean like sitting there for 8 hours filming videos back to back. It could, if that's what you want to do, but you want to identify what's going to be easy for you to do, right? Like, what's going to not completely burn you out, because you still want to have that momentum week after week, promoting your business, your vision your brand. So I would recommend you take a minute, you batch create whatever type of content you feel like resonates with you. In my opinion, I feel like it's very interesting to sort of get some like informational kind of content regarding what you're doing. I think your, being featured in an exhibit there's a ton of content that could be pulled from that experience alone. So you kind of just get creative. And once you have the content ready to go, what you can do is use a scheduler. So for people who, manage their own social media, a lot of the times they use like content schedulers. I know I do. I used to use later.com. I use there's a lot of tools that you can use, but later.com, I do believe, either has a free trial or a free option where you can connect to social media platforms, and you can just take all of the posts that you're going to do for each platform and you schedule it out. So what I think would help you and alleviate some of the stress there is to start the batch creation, give yourself a time frame, and then when you have enough content for, like, if you want to commit to posting like 3 times a week and you want to do like, both photo and video content, kind of give yourself a timeline of when to have all of that content ready by, and then lean into those free marketing services like the content scheduler. I know Facebook or Meta has their own proprietary one. I believe it's free. I can't remember. But there's other external systems like, later.com that can sync your TikTok, your Instagram, and all of your other accounts. So you could just literally spend a couple hours posting or scheduling out posts for, like, let's say the next 2 months. And then you close it and you don't have to worry about it until your next batch creation shoot. So I think that's where I would start. Have you already taken those steps? Oh, I see, Johan. I will move you to the audience. No worries. Oh, whoops. I think we lost him. Okay. I went to delete button. Sorry, Johan, did you want to remain in the panel or would you like to be released?
Oh, I don't mind. It's up to you.
Well, I definitely love the conversation that we're starting to have. We have about 15 minutes. I think Bucha might have dipped, and that is okay. But the sentiment remains the same. Oh, you're back. Oh, that was interesting.
I think the same thing happened to her that happened to me. That I went to go tap the chat button and it kicked me out.
Oh, that's so strange. Okay. That's going to be something to keep note of. Okay, if it happens again, please let me know so I can identify this with our product team, see if there's like a bug or anything. Hopefully not. But kind of continuing that conversation, Bucha, A, did it cut out when I was talking? And B, if it didn't cut out, did you already kind of start the motions of that?
Yeah, so I did get a lot of great tips from you. It didn't cut out when you were talking about the scheduler, that type of thing. It's, I always say to myself, like, yeah, I'm going to schedule some time. And then I'm like, oh gosh, because I work for a nonprofit in my day-to-day job. So I'm always like, overextended over there. And then like, I do jewelry and I want to help others as well, my outside time, but my art kind of takes a back burner. But you're right. Those are great tools, making sure that you have a batch amount of content to put out. And then also, I kind of have a wavering thing because I think art is super important, as you said. I also think that art represents the times that we live in. So I do definitely share as well certain current events or pictures of Black individuals as they go through life, where I get inspiration and that type of thing. And I wonder if you can give your opinion on whether, reposting things in my stories, for example, that are like archival Black individuals living their joy, their true life, where I get my inspiration, and also just like my own post on my regular page if that's kind of like too much.
Diana, can I ask her a question?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it's an open panel discussion.
Yeah, no, because it's ironic. We're all artists on this stage, foundation-wise, and one of the things when I was focusing heavily on my art, you kind of start feeling like it feels like a chore when you have to do the social aspect of it because you kind of miss the artistic part. And what that whole TikTok that went viral, everything is content, everything is content. Once I learned that, I literally just had my setup that whenever I had my therapy, which was my art moment where I was going to make the things, I just turned the camera on, pointed it, and I just let it run. Because you see, the thing is what happens is we get analysis paralysis, and realistically, we just need to document, and we can clip 20 seconds, 1 minute, with just us doing what we regularly do that we love, so we don't lose the passion behind it. Because when we start thinking about the content, it's like, I have to make the content purposely. But no, just do what you love the most and record it.
Thank you, girl, huh? Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is why I love Fanbase, because we are creatives, and that's a wonderful idea. You know what I'm saying about you guys. It's right then and there. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing what you love and it's natural, would you say just turn on the camera and just let it flow and clip out? You know what I'm saying? So I'm loving this conversation.
Yeah, and that brings a really good point. Like the platforms that you use, like it's not a secret that anything that you put on there, whether that's for personal or whatever, like it's still content. It's still on the platform. The platform itself is benefiting from your creation. So might as well, right? Like might as well post if you want to share yourself like that, you might as well post things that you care about, things that are of value to you. And if you want to do content creation on a larger scale, like professionally, then a lot of the ways that you become successful is really trial and error. There's not a proven formula of how it works, because either you connect with an audience or you don't. And a lot of that's just going to be dependent on who your audience is. Like sometimes you have such a niche audience that it might be, let's say, small, like maybe not 1.5 million followers, but maybe it's like 200,000 people across the globe who really resonate with you, your messaging, what you stand for, and find value in like processing and looking at your content. So like I feel like a lot of the times the message gets lost when people try to make it like, oh, I need to be the best or the most popular or whatever. It's like, no, you just need to be the most true to yourself in this process. And that kind of goes to answer your question, Bucha. I don't believe in too much. Like in general, I feel like your ideal audience will take the content that you post and produce as just enough. If there's anything, and this is in general, I think in life too, if there's any time that anybody has said anything is too much, you're too much, the content you post is too much, then that's just not aligned for you. I feel like the things that are aligned for you, the audience that you're trying to reach, they're not gonna think that you're posting too much, and they're going to resonate with the messaging that you're putting out, because it will be just enough, because they are thinking about the same things that you are. So I don't think it's too much. I think in terms of strategy, yeah, there could be probably some strategy that goes behind posting things. And that's just from, kind of a storytelling sense. Like if you're going to be highlighting, as you mentioned, Black joy, Black lives, archival history regarding the Black experience. If you want to even diversify it within the Black experience within the US versus like Europe or something like that, like you can post whatever you want to post. I feel like strategy wise, if you're going to focus on one thing, it would be a little bit like Whiplash if you kind of turn around and post something that's completely off base and like not related to what your messaging is. But again, if you build that like loyalty, that consistency, you can talk about whatever you want to talk about. I will say though, I'm a big advocate on communication. So if you do want to pivot and you want to kind of talk about something different, that you got to give your audience a little bit of a heads up, because if they're expecting one type of content from you, or they're expecting you to talk about, you know, like the Black experience in the U.S. As you're talking about it week after week, or like a couple of days out of the week, and you want to really shift focus and be like, I really want to amplify my art and my creations right now. You can. It's very easy to segue. It's just like having a natural conversation. It just feels weird because you're you're either posting it through like a picture, or having like recording yourself. It feels weird because you're not actually having a conversation. But at the end of the day, the content that you produce and the content that gets ingested by people is a different type of conversation. It's still communication, and I feel like there are ways where you can communicate and like level set expectations for your audience that this is what you want to talk about. But again, people follow you, and I think this is true for anybody who has a following. People follow you for your own vision, your perspective, your ideology, your art, right? Like you have supporters because they like you, or they like what you produce, or they are aligned with what you're saying. So I don't think it's ever too much to post whatever you feel like passionate about. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thanks.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have a couple minutes before my audio room ends. And we had a lot of really great discussions. I would actually love to keep the audio room dynamic going like this, because as much as I'd love to share information, I'm a conversationalist. I like to talk to people. So whoever feels inclined for next week's audio room, please come up and we will kind of converse the same way that we did this time around. Next week, I'll be able to provide even more details regarding the launch of our campaigns. And again, if you guys know people who are not on the platform yet, but who would want to benefit from our campaigns launching, please feel free to spread that message, because we really are trying to advocate for the creator, give them 100% of their revenue. Like what's theirs is theirs. And this is sort of a very big thank you to our creators, especially in the time where there's a lot of uncertainty of what's going to happen with TikTok, and we feel for the company, and we feel for the creators that are being impacted during this. So feel free to share that. Have people come on. It'll be 2 full months of 100% revenue to all of you guys. So that will be starting next week, as well as the mental health awareness campaign. And if you have any interest in helping moderate some of the mental health audio rooms that we have ideas for, please feel free to shoot me a DM. Oh, Kyle, it's totally fine. We can totally jump in next week. There's lots of content to be talked about, and especially next week is very exciting because we're launching that mental health awareness campaign, where we are launching that creator appreciation campaign. So maybe our marketing crew can kind of come on and talk about the exciting things that are happening here. But yeah, if you have interest, if you are passionate and you are aligned with mental health advocacy, self-care, treat yourself type of mentality, which, I think a lot of us are, especially in this time, and you're interested in helping moderate some of our mental health audio room initiatives that we're going to have going on, please feel free to DM me. I will connect you guys to the right people, and we will get you set up for moderation. With that being said, is there anything else that you guys want to talk to me about? We have about 6 minutes before I wrap up, but I want to keep the floor open in case you guys wanted to say anything.
No, I was just gonna say I love this space. I love this platform. For those that don't know, I come from a background where I'm not seen, and I want to encourage everybody who is listening that you are important and you have value. Everybody has what they already need to be their greatest. So continue on creating, continue on sharing, continue on letting people know how cool Fanbase is.
Thank you for that, Queen Mo. And thank you, Queen, Johan, and Bucha. I greatly appreciate your guys' input. I love the questions that are being asked. I think these are very important conversations to be had, especially when we're advocating for the success of content creators. So I really appreciate your insights. And just a quick takeaway, or quick reminder mainly is that building your brand, creating content, finding your target audience, like all of this is a journey, and that journey is not linear. If you think there is a rule book, get that out of your head because it is different for everyone. It is different for the niches that you want to talk about. It's different for the audience that you're trying to reach. So it is a personal experience. It is oftentimes a very intimate and vulnerable experience because you are putting yourself out there. So in this space, in this initiative, also give yourself a little bit of grace, give yourself a little bit of patience, because it is a journey. There is no perfect way to get there. There's no I did it the right way. There is just the way that's going to work for you. And with that, we are going to
before you go, I'd be willing to do a collab with you and kind of dust out that personal brand room that I did, and maybe because I think a lot of people could benefit from a longer deep dive into that. But that's up to you. We can talk in a back panel if you want.
Yeah, I'm so down. Like I am very much, again, like if you if you guys talk with me, it makes it a lot easier. If I'm kind of talking to like dead space, it's like hello, is anyone there? But I would love to have an ongoing discussion, and I have whatever my own expertise is. I've been in the marketing space for a very long time. I've been in growth marketing for a very long time, and now this is sort of my like transitionary period to partnerships and really connecting with people on that. And I would love to connect my expertise, my influencer marketing and just general digital marketing expertise with your 20 years of development and have like a deeper scope conversation. I think people can learn a lot from that. And I am not of the mindset of gatekeeping at all. Like the information is already out there for you guys. It's up to you to kind of take it. It's up to you to digest it in a way that makes sense for you, and then implement plans, that work best with your own brand, whether that's personal, professional, intellectual, whatever. So definitely down for that, Johan. Love that.
We have actually similar backgrounds. I think Joyce in the audience mentioned it. Very similar background.
I love that. I love and like it's.
See, this is why I love this platform because everybody is nurturing and able to give their expertise.
Yeah, exactly. And if we also want to, if more people are interested in listening and kind of talking about this particular topic on a deeper level, please let us know your interest, because I am here to kind of curate this experience for how you guys want to see it, right? I want this to be valuable for you. So I'm really glad that we had a very productive episode. I'm excited for the things that we're going to be launching next week. Johan, definitely excited to talk further about collabing on kind of a deeper level discussion here. And I guess stay tuned for next episode because we have a lot of stuff coming, y'all. All right. Well, with that being said, I'm going to be ending the room. If you guys have any questions, any additional, insights that you want to leverage, if you have interest in moderating the mental health awareness audio rooms that we're going to be using in conjunction with the campaign, please send me a message. I will relay it to the right and appropriate party, and we will get things rolling out. But I will see you guys next week, and we will go into a deeper discussion regarding the campaigns and then our next week's like general marketing and content creation topics. Awesome. Okay. Bye, guys. Thank you.
All right. there you have it. Looks like that's it. Thank you for joining Mama Lala. I appreciate you for being here. You stayed the whole time. Definitely welcome you again to Fanbase, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And I'm signing out.
Welcome to Memoirs Podcast, where stories are told to create lasting memories in this digital space that we live in. It's time to be creative and explore the opportunities you have to enhance the quality of your storytelling and to give you time back to enjoy with family and friends.